Go check it out so you can see what's going on in the studio. And guess what, guys? This edition, moving forward, is brought to you by the one and the only
Adam and Eve. We're back, baby.
We are back.
balling,
baby.
balling.
So, Seun, have you visited Adam and Eve?
I'm going to buy back there. I've said I can't go there except I didn't want to take my wife, but she has found a
That's
reason
what I was
now.
going to say. If it's in, definitely you have to go there. You definitely have to go
She
there.
has said we have to go and buy bags. So, you'll see me there soon. See, our traveling bag is too old.
It's too Oh my days. All right, guys. So a big thank you to our sponsors, Adam and Eve, our luxury homeware store, and we have a lot more information we're going to be sharing with you during the course of the show, because Valentine's Day is coming up, and of course we know that
Valentine is coming. Where is your boyfriend?
I don't even know. My boyfriend is still in the hands of God.
I got you. You'll be lonely on Valentine. We'll usually do third
Seun,
wheel.
you are a married man.
We'll
You're a
do
married
third
man.
wheel.
You want me to third wheel?
Yes,
You guys
better than being
you'll
alone.
be too lovey-dovey for me.
You'll be-
too
you'll be-
lovey-dovey
I mean,
for me.
At least we'll buy you food.
Okay, yes.
And drink.
And drink.
So while you are thinking, you'll be able to eat and drink, because we don't know anymore.
Oh, wow.
But we don't believe Ify is enjoying Lagos.
How am I enjoying Lagos? I'm not enjoying. Well, I'm enjoying Lagos, yes. But you asked where's my boyfriend, and I said it's still in the hands of God.
In the hands of the Lord.
He's still in the hands of the Lord. The Lord will soon, present me with my specially made boyfriend.
You don't mind. It's all, you're so beautiful. All these Lagos boys, they don't have the courage.
They don't have the courage.
And when they see beautiful, they think, this beautiful girl has 10 husbands already.
I know. Why do they assume all that? It's a
They're not
very
like that.
false assumption.
They're not like, at least go and ask. Excuse me, sister. I don't mean to. Are you seeing anybody?
Exactly. It's as simple as that.
The worst that can happen is get away from here. You don't have a picture of Oduma in your house, and you go. I mean, you don't remove hair from your body.
Wow.
Let me give you advice now. Just zero your mind.
Zero your mind. All right, guys, let's get into the show for today. There are a few stories that we're going to be touching on. We're going to start off with this conversation about the removal of the fuel subsidy. Let's start with that, because that seems to be a pressing issue.
Let's always remember.
Again.
This is the third time this APC government is removing subsidy.
Fantastic. Again. So, if you recall last year, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, announced that the federal government will finally remove the fuel subsidy in 2022 and then replace it with a 5,000 naira a month transportation grant to the poor. It's one of the things that she mentioned last year, right? And we also recall that based on the Petroleum Industry Act from last year as well, that's 2021, the government said that they're going to finally, this one is no longer a back and forth, finally remove the fuel subsidy come 2022. And based on we're finally in 2022, there's no going back, we're going to take off the subsidy. And we know that in the past the federal government has come up with certain measures according to them to mitigate the situation and to mitigate the pressure, the palliatives. Talking about the social investment program, the SIP, things like Empower, Trader Money, things like that.
How well has that worked? How many people are
beneficiaries of the SIP? And even taking a look at what the Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed said, that there's going to be a 5,000 naira a month transportation grant. Even before implementing that, how successful has the SIP been? And can we for a fact say that the poor Nigerians, the impoverished, those that are living below like $1 a day, and even
the
less
money
than
for
that,
this 5,000 naira a day for all these people, they've done the maths. It's more than the subsidy.
Wow. And that's the reason why I said let's talk about the mystery of this thing called the fuel subsidy in Nigeria. Because on one hand, it did seem as if the beneficiaries for this fuel subsidy was the Nigerians. Why? Because the government comes out and says, we're going to make things better and make it cheaper.
Subsidy or no subsidy, say at 302 naira per litre, at this point, forget electric car. Because diesel that you use to power your gen to charge your car, diesel is already over 300 or something.
Already.
And people like me that use diesel gen in our house, We know we've gone from buying maybe 200 and 250 liters for the week or for the, every time I'm buying maybe 100 and 150 now. Just they keep on just say, life will stay like that. So me forget it's blood powered car. Nobody can tell me how much of my blood to put inside my car or how much I want to just take my blood direct, put in the car. Let me know that I'm driving my life. I'm telling you because what is amazing in all these conversations is that there's never any talk about increment in salaries. I always say this because there's no way you should link a people to world-class prices if those people are not earning world-class wages.
There you go.
You understand? Because they talk about world market prices. This same IMF, the same international World Trade Organization and World Trade Union, they have a recommended amount of money that is the minimum that a man needs to survive, and I think it's about $10 an hour. When they've done the maths, that any salary below $10 an hour is poverty wage. So what is our wage here in Nigeria per hour? And yet you want to charge us world class prices. I don't understand this concept. And what Nigerian people need, no handouts. Increase minimum wage and create job opportunities. Also, NLC is not totally faultless here. I think this, as usual, their own usual noise. They will now use the people to go and negotiate. I can never forget what happened in 2012 and how that opened my eye to the workings of the Nigerian labor unions. And when I interrogated the former president of Nigerian, the trade union of Nigeria, Peter, what's his name? I forgot his name. The Peter Remosele or something. I forgot his name. And he said to me, well, when they went to negotiate, as we were protesting, they were negotiating for the 3% of Nigerians that were in their unions. So I said, so you people, you say you only negotiate for 3%, but you use the energy of the whole country to only negotiate what you and your members can afford. What about the other people that are not employed or are not in your union that brought out their energy anyway? So my question to the NLC is this. They had a party called the Labour Party before they scattered everything by themselves. But the NLC's mandate to fight for the workers of Nigeria is not only by protesting. They have a mandate to also represent the people at the polls, the workers' interest, to bring politicians from the working class to contest elections. It's not only on the street every time they'll be fighting, so they'll go and negotiate interest. Why are they not fighting for real power at the polls, as many labor unions all over the world do? I mean, the second biggest party in the UK is called the Labour Party for a reason. It's the Workers' Party. Even in America, the Democrats label themselves the Workers' Party, because of their relationship with the unions. Many countries all over the world, this is how their unions operate, except here in Nigeria, where they only want to protest and negotiate after the protest. So I don't really see why Nigerian people should not be skeptical of both sides. And we should make our demands not only to government but to NLC. You want us to join your strike and support it, so you have popular support. These are the things that the Nigerian people want you to also stand on in your negotiations, or do your thing yourself. Because it is important that we also remember that. And then what are we talking about? Fuel subsidy. Fuel subsidy exists in Nigeria because we say we import petrol. So this government in this country must put a ban on imported petrol. We, the people of Nigeria, we want ban on imported petrol. We don't want to use imported petrol. We want petrol that we have refined in our own country. Is that too much to ask?
Not too much.
It's not too much to ask. So yeah, I mean, if they want to remove subsidy completely, as they've said, then they have to fix the refineries in this country, or build new ones that are able to meet the internal needs, of Nigerian people.
But if you recall,
from 18 months, in 18 months, I can never
that they were going to build refineries.
I can never forget. I'm still saying, I'm insisting that, most of this so-called imported petrol is still from our so-called broken down refineries. that is trucked back to us as imported petrol. NNPC, for example, they say they don't import, that they use the locally refined petrol. Yet their petrol prices is the same as other imported petrol stations. Why is NNPC, who's our own local company, our own company, we the people now, Nigeria gets NNPC, we own NNPC. So why should NNPC, who is not importing petrol, also be selling at the price that people that are importing petrol are selling the price? If not because there's a gimmick here at play. This is how every government in Nigeria dips his hand into the pocket of the Nigerian people, from the richest of us to the poorest of us. And me, I'm even tired that it's only 4 subsidies that will unite Nigerians to come and start complaining. You know, we don't complain about our bad schools, our bad roads. We don't unite. Everything is what leads to where we are now. You know, so me, I don't trust this subsidy issue at all, and I don't trust both sides in the discussion also. You know.
All right, in case you are listening, please feel free to join the conversation. What are your thoughts about this conversation about the removal of the fuel subsidy, which could mean possibly that petrol would be sold for about 302 naira if at all the recommendations by the National Economic Council come into play?
Who are the people in this National Economic Council? I want you to Google them. Let's Google National Economic Council Nigeria. Which people are there? You'll be surprised to find that it's all the big petrol sellers, all the big men of Nigeria. They're the ones there. Hey, well, if you increase and remove this subsidy again and increase our money,
So as we take a look at that to see who the members are, let's take some calls.
Let's see them.
Lagos Stocks, good morning. Who's speaking?
Hello, good morning, Seun and my sister. My name is Peter.
Good morning, Peter from Shomoli. How are you? It's good. Happy New Year.
You're welcome. Now, for me, I will not want to talk much on this fuel subsidy removal. They are asking us to give them, I think out in June. They give a deadline June. I think what we should do as Nigerians is also to begin to plan, begin to have our meetings, and then begin to strategize, waiting for June. Our people will say, let me use pidgin English. Our people, they talk, say, if the war that is coming has a 6 day that it will start, they kill a crippled person, because it will start movement before then. Now that they have told us the time, can we also start to work? Because if you told us that there was nothing but subsidy, and today you told us the other time we have removed subsidy partially, we have removed subsidy again, and we have paid like 160 something, and you are still coming back to tell us you want to remove the subsidy. Now you told us you will do refineries. Where are the refineries? Instead of building the refineries for Nigerians, only a country can import fuel. You use our money to go and wait on Tucano aircraft. As Mr. President reduced his fleet of aircraft, why did you buy things you are not? What are we using Tucano for? We have solutions to insurgents and they go and waste our money on. We wait for them. When the time comes, like Abdul Salam Abubakar said, he said that the operate thing will be more than what the toll gate witness. I think everybody's waiting for them. Let them. I want them to remove it today. And let us fight this thing once and for all. And break down what we want to break down. Then reveal what we want to reveal. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Lagos Stocks, good morning. Who's speaking?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yes, John.
All right, John, let's hear you.
Speaking from Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. I know people are listening. Every day we hear different things from different platforms concerning the sickness Nigeria is facing. Nigeria is very, very sick. They are not bringing up the issue. Why is Nigeria this sick? Why is Nigeria sick? Why is it falling? Why is she going to the grave? People are not talking about it.
if you want to kill a person, they have to be a remedy that goes with the ailment. First of all, know what is the sickness. Okay. People don't want to talk about it. Let me tell you why. Nigeria is sick, going to the grave. Let people go back to 1967 till date. The blood of innocent Biafrans still can never allow this Nigeria to remain sane. Thank you.
Oh. All right, in case you're just tuning in, we are talking about the possible fuel subsidy removal and the recommendation by the National Economic Council saying that petrol price should be sold for 302 naira per litre. And we know that in times past, the government, in response to some of the decisions that they have made that could further impoverish Nigerians, say that they've come up with programs, palliatives, to help mitigate the situation and cushion the effect of such a thing. One of those being the social investment program, and like I did mention, things like trader money, Empower, and the list goes on and on. And last year, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, mentioned that, you know, to follow the fuel subsidy removal, they would be given a 5,000 naira a month transportation grant to the poor. Do you think that this is a clear mitigation or cushion to the effect of the possible removal of the fuel subsidy? And if you are listening and if you've ever been a beneficiary of any of these programs like the social investment program, let us know. Have you received any monies coming from the government for your business, especially if you had registered to be a part of this? Have you been a beneficiary? Do you know anyone that has been a beneficiary so far? We'd definitely love to know. 0809 234 5913 0809 2220913 015150913 015151913. So Seun, on one hand, we're saying we don't necessarily have trust in the NLC based on the precedent they've set in times past, saying that if they go out there and they say that they're fighting for the people, it ends up seeming like they're fighting just for a select few.
Yeah, they actually confirmed that this is that week. They told me direct. I'm not hiding it. They told me direct. You know, and when they removed this subsidy too last year, before 2 years ago in 2020, before NSAS started, you know, they removed the subsidy in July or something, and NLC was going to protest. And I was telling them at the meeting, they called me at the gathering and saying, NLC must not only protest. How about the election side of it? Where is the political organization of the NLC? How is the NLC politicizing the people of Nigeria to galvanize them towards using the election also, you know? And that if we continue like this, they're going to lose support of people like me. The NLC, one of their spokesmen said, well, no organization in Nigeria can mobilize the people of Nigeria like NLC. So it's only NLC that can call for protest. 2 months later or 3 months later, NSAS without NLC shut down the whole country. Boom.
Interesting.
So now youth can organize without, the people can organize without, workers can organize without. Exactly. So where are we now? So that's why their power now, they really need to understand that if they're going to call for this kind of protest and they need the support of the people of Nigeria, they must understand that they go into any negotiation, not only negotiating for the 3% formally employed members of the unions, but for the entirety of Nigerians who have put their hope and trust in the movement that they have generated. It is only logical that is because they must be clear in their they must be clear in on that fact.
All right, it is 11:30. Well, we're going to be taking a very quick break, but before that, remember that you can join the conversation via WhatsApp and via the phone lines. We're just going to read out a few WhatsApp messages very quickly. This is coming from Kelewinski saying, let's not get distracted. Fuel subsidy or the removal of it is just a policy that has its positives and negatives. It all depends on how it is managed. So subsidy or the removal of it is not exactly a problem. Governance is the problem, and it is not limited to this President Buhari's administration. Governance has forever been our problem until we address the fundamental issues. This is coming from a listener saying, Seun and Ifi, God bless you with the good work you're doing. Thank you. Please, only a deceiver would say Nigeria has not failed. Even a blind and a deaf man could see and hear it. This is coming from Chifudo saying, good morning, Ifi and Seun. It will be a monumental, catastrophical failure if we in this country will still vote in a government that told us subsidy is a fraud and close our borders, which didn't stop oil smuggling, never fulfilled any promises, and prefer to share money to unknown poorest that never get rich. So sad that if the government lies to the people, we call it politics, but if the people lie to the government, it is a felony, is what Chief Udo is saying. All right, it's 11:32. Remember, this edition of The People's Perspective is brought to you by Adam and Eve. Let's hear from them, and then after the break, we'll be taking more of your calls, more of your messages, and moving on to other stories, so stick around.
You're on to your #1 radio station, and boy, do I have some exciting news.
I need to go.
Now, guys, trust me.
Really
You know
good.
when I come through to your radio,
I need to go downstairs to go and ask them why the jingle is not on the system, because I can't find it on the
This is
system.
coming from Adam and
So that they can. It's just this. It's just
Guys,
them.
this
Hi,
is the
guys.
Valentine edition, and it's themed Stroke the Fire. I mean, guys, you will agree with me that Valentine is the opportunity for couples to spice up their relationship.
How you guys doing?
Loved by many all
Let me see. While we're on break, who wants to ask me any question?
Just how much you care. I have come to understand that for many couples, Valentine is more than just a gift.
Somebody said, I see one question here saying, in other countries, it is companies that decide to pay their workers well. No. Because if you have to realize that in most countries, government is the highest employee. Local, state, and federal government are the highest employees of people and agencies that work to build roads, to do whatever. Many people are linked to the government in that way. You understand? So salaries are legally implemented. Minimum wage is illegal. It's a legal thing. You're not just willy-nilly of the goodness, except in America, where that has been liberalized. In many countries, the minimum wage. You can't make somebody work for you in these countries for less than that amount. That's why most people in America like to employ illegal immigrants, so they can pay them under the table low wages. So we in Nigeria must decide and fight for a living wage that is that guarantees our dignity, not be say this beggar wage that corrupts your humanity instead.
Make that one stop today at Adam and Eve Luxury Home Store and have yourself an unforgettable Valentine this year. Alright, till I catch you next time, it's Beers.
This is Lagos Talks 91.3.
He says it as it is. No filter, no chill.
Hello, my country people.
She's the nice one, always trying to keep you out of trouble.
Oh no, don't say that.
These two are on the mission to Lagos, are you ready for Big Bird?
This na Seun and Electoral Kuti.
And I'm Ifunanya. Join us every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon on our brand new show.
If I open this my mouth, all table starter.
Father, help us all.
All your boyfriends are here. They have been arguing about why you wore makeup or didn't wear makeup today. And yet, look, I'm the one that can touch you like this. And you people are there arguing. Eh?
All right, it's 11:36. This is The People's Perspective, brought to you by Adam and Eve, your #1 luxury homeware store. And we are touching on some of the top stories that have been making around, starting with the possible removal of the fuel subsidy. What are your thoughts? If you'd like to comment on that, 0809-234-5913. 0809-222-0913. Lagos Talks. All right, we lost that one. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0809-234-5913. Lagos Talks, very good morning. Who's speaking?
Good morning. My name is Austin. I'm calling from Nigeria.
All right, let's hear you.
God bless you for this work people are doing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there is a saying that it's either you will prepare better to become wiser or they become much foolish. After the 2012 protest that held in Nigeria, they would love to happen. It made some of us wise after the betrayal by the NLC. And it's for this reason that we, alongside some NSAS members or activists, have started a slogan, hashtag resist the actions. It means we are now the ones taking this struggle on our own, asking the NLC to collaborate with us. Gone are the days that we will go protest, shed our tears, and NLC will feed on our blood. So I tell Nigerians not to lose hope in the next protest that is going to take place. Because this next protest, like the NSAS, is not going to be infiltrated, is not going to be hijacked either by the government or by members of the NLC. And this is our take. And we are not just going to stop our demand on either the leaving or the removal of subsidy, because subsidy is not the issue. When you have a fraudulent government, removal or the leaving of the subsidy becomes fraudulent. So we are no longer just going to follow the government slogan of subsidy because they are trying to engage us in unnecessary discussion. The real discussion is government must come to account all the money that have been spent not only on fuel, on energy, on gas, on NDDC. Those are going to be the list of this next movement, which is called resist actions. We want to know who are the real perpetrators, who are the people killing Nigerians. We have to bring them to book. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Very quickly, this is coming from Obi saying you cannot change world standard prices if you cannot pay world standard salaries. Quote of the well-spoken Big Bird. This is coming from Kennedy saying, Ifi and Chain, well done. When last has any of the politicians used their money to buy petrol? They don't know how hitching the present price, or so you mean hiking the present price is on an average Nigeria. And that is why they can increase the fuel price anytime they like without any impactful leverage. No motorable roads, nothing to enjoy as an average Nigerian. God will judge. This is coming from... Alright, so you deleted your message, so I can't see that. Lagos Talks, good morning. Who's speaking?
Good morning.
What's your name?
My name is Wachuku from Solo.
Alright, let's hear you.
Okay, this subsidy removal, as somebody has already said, is not the issue. Recently, the president launched a pyramid of rice. I don't know if you know the price of rice in the market.
My brother, I own a restaurant, so I know.
So,
I know. Hey.
Okay, that you even know.
Hey.
I'm trying to make nice. Most countries subsidize food, which is a daily consumption for its mass. If we remove sulfur subsidy, that's not even the issue. The issue is what are the follow-up effects of removing sulfur subsidy? Totally. The way the thing is run now, who is it benefiting? It is still those who are in a position of authority that is benefiting. They take the crude according to what they're telling us. Take it abroad to go and refine. And the byproducts of that crude, nobody knows what happens to them. Along that there is 15 byproducts of that crude.
Yes,
so only petrol and still subsidize it. For who? Those who are importing, those who are importing that use subsidy, who are they? So now they are going to. It's not only this fellow. Light, NEPA billing now. So the same Nigerian mass will pay hike in electricity, pay hike in for fuel, then go and buy food at a high cost. I say as government.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you very much.
You know, because they claim that the Nigerians are now using 60 million liters of petrol a day. Who is buying these 60 million? Who? Hey, because I dey fear some kind of statistics for this country. Who is buying it? Well.
All right, guys, let us move on to other stories that are trending. If you recall, a few days ago, the National Assembly re-amended the 2010 Electoral Act Amendment Bill to make provisions for direct and indirect primaries for political parties. Now, if you recall, the National Assembly had in the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021 passed on the 18th of November 2021, they provided only for direct primaries for political parties, a provision that the president cited for refusing to assent to the bill. The Senate even further provided for consensus for parties. The amendment of the bill followed a motion for its recommittal to the Committee of the Whole. And this motion was sponsored by the Senate leader Yahaya Abdullahi, who in his presentation recalled that the president had signified withholding his assent on the Electoral Act, which was passed by the National Assembly and forwarded to the president on the 18th of November, which is a Thursday in 2021. And then Senator Abdullahi noted that the rationale for withholding assent bordered on his observation in Clause 84. And the president, in a letter that he dated the 13th of December 2021 and addressed to the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, had explained that his decision to withhold assent to the electoral bill was informed by advice from relevant ministries, departments, and agencies of government after a thorough review. And according to the president, signing the bill into law would have serious adverse legal, financial, economic, and security consequences on the country, particularly in view of Nigeria's peculiarities. He also did add that it would also impact negatively on the rights of citizens to participate in government as constitutionally ensured. And the Senator Abdullahi explained that the motion for recommittal to the bill to the Committee of the Whole was against the backdrop of the need to address the observation by Mr. President CNC and make necessary amendment in accordance with Order 87C of the Senate Standing Orders. And just the gist of this is now the National Assembly has re-amended the 2010 Electoral Act Amendment Bill to make provisions for the direct and indirect primaries for political parties as requested by the president, last year, and that's the reason why he did not approve of it or agree to it, but now they've made provisions for that. So what are your thoughts about this? If this was something that could have already been made provision for, why wasn't it already included by the National Assembly before giving to the president and being taken back?
No, I think it's the over politicization of everything in Nigeria. It was just many of the positions and many of the primaries of APC are indirect. They use a electoral college system where the babas of the party decide the candidate officially. They did a few like that before in APC. So that's what some APC senators are trying to block, because they don't want these powerful men to impose candidates. So that's why they remove the indirect primary. This is a serious inter-party politics going on. The president sided with the babas of his party. What do you mean we will not have indirect primaries? Go and put back indirect primaries, because that's what gives them power in APC, because they have that power in APC to hold indirect primaries. And I think some of their members want to remove it. The senators, the younger politicians there, want to remove it so that they don't have much influence over them in these coming primaries, that it can be a free and fair primary. They need to establish themselves as candidates without bowing down to their ogres. But you made your bed already. You now don't want to lay in it. But you say, come on, you will lay on that bed. You will lay on the bed. But they made all this noise about it being about electronic voting and this and that. But I never saw it as that. And this is Africa. Electronic voting is not foolproof against rigging. and electoral malpractice. You know, the only thing that can prevent it is that Nigerian people come out en masse to vote in their election and defend their vote. Only the Nigerian people can guarantee a free and fair election, not electronics.
Indeed.
You know, because even if you look at the case of Kenya, Odinga and this Kenyatta guy, you know, it almost broke out into civil war over this electronic voting issue some years ago in Kenya. So it's not foolproof. I mean, it has been done in Africa already, and the outcome is there for all to go and study. Yeah. This text that is making you smile.
No.
Like hey.
Please let us take some calls. Lagos Talks.
My people, you need to see this smile. Whoever has sent this text, you are in.
Hi.
Let me advise you, you are in.
Good morning. Who's speaking?
How you doing?
Usman. Okay, let's hear you. All right, let's hear you, please.
Okay, now, the body come now, you say that photo is a scam that time. Well, what for that now? The people going to work for me, to work for naira. For that one again, people what naira. You say the president has been removed. Okay, I don't understand. Who are going to remove now? Yeah, I don't understand. Because there are people that call to tell me who are going to remove the game. For the election, they like the sign it, they don't like the sign it. All I know, 2020 is out. Everything is out. You won't like what I'm going to do again. You're on your own. Because you continue to suffer again. So, there's no more APC. Then you try to carry out to this out too long. That's not the thing.
Okay. Lagos Talks, good morning. 0809-234-5913 0809-222-0913 01515-0913 01515-1913. In case you're just tuning in, this is The People's Perspective, brought to you by Adam and Eve, Africa's #1 luxury homeware store. Lagos Talks. Lagos Talks, good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Just from Bariga.
All right, welcome. Let's hear you.
I want to talk a little about this subsidy.
Okay.
I don't know whether we go and borrow rocket science. Issues in place. We say our refinery, even if it is two refineries that they are working, if we have a refinery, then we can talk of removing the subsidy. Do we have I don't know the kind of brain these our fathers have, they call them, they are ruling us. What type of brain they have? If you repair, even if two refineries, then now we reduce our importation. Maybe there will be importation, but just to support. Then now we can talk about removing the subsidy. And then everybody is free. We if we add it and maybe to the one that has been given us, then we can measure up a little the supply. So we forget about subsidy entirely. You see? So when you tell them, you become the bad person. If you advise them, you become the bad person. I cannot understand this Buhari government. So many times I have told them what they should do. But if you talk, you become an enemy in the concept. So I don't know where we are going. I don't know what we are doing now. But thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 0809-234-5913 0809-222-0913 01515-0913 01515-1913. Lagos Talks. Lagos Talks. Good morning. What's your name?
Andy from Mopoli.
All right, let's hear you.
Because politicians, they are not using our life to play politics. To come 2023, I think we need somebody who has Nigerians at heart. I don't. We should stop playing politics with all these politicians. Let's come together and fight them. because they don't have us at mind. They don't have us at their mind. They're not playing politics with us, and that is not fair. So come to this, let's vote people out. Thank you.
All right, thanks for your take, Lagos Talks. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello.
Yes. What is your name?
Yeah, this is calling from my data.
All right. Let's hear you.
Yeah, first time caller. I just really, I don't even know what the topic is, but I just put a contribution. So when it comes to Nigeria issue about politics, I think the citizens should always get their own opinion. Because them, the ADs, they always know about themselves. They don't care about the masses. So coming to very close to the election, we are seeing how of them are now telling, pretend that they are good people to settle reasons that can give them food, not achieve their dreams. It is now time for us to sit down and think, who can be on that seat and forget about ethnicity, of how to restore Nigeria back to where it was there. So I advise everybody to have your PVC, get it ready. You don't have to go and edit.
All right. Thank you very much. So, Seun, does this mean that Nigerians have to just wait and see if indeed they will finally remove this subsidy? Do we have hopes that the NLC will be able to, strong arm or convince the government not to? Because we know that if they actually increase it to that amount, it's going to cripple a lot of people.
I think they are going to increase it regardless, and then there will be the same struggle. Then they expect the same negotiations to bring it down to like 250 or maybe 280, as they did before. And
but that will cripple a lot of Nigerians.
But that is their plan as usual, because you have to understand. That's why I said who is this National Economic Council? That's what they did under Jonathan too. The National Economic Council suggested you find out these are the rich people that fund the elections. So at this time, the politicians are running around looking for money for election, and these billionaire businessmen are saying, "Well, you see, we are not making money from the oil. If you want us to give you more money, so the government comes to increase petrol, and also their financiers can make more money and then be able to finance elections." I mean, remember when PDP had not done APC had not done their own publicly, or maybe I missed it. Remember when PDP was doing endowment fund for election? They raised 25 billion naira. That time that dollar was 100 to 1. So this is the game. If you remember,
this is a horrible game.
Election 2 was coming. 2012, boom. They remove subsidy, so that's the same game.
It's very sad, and that's the reason why we would keep encouraging people. There's no time for voter apathy anymore. We need to come together, mobilize, like you always mention, get your PVC. Let's go out there. Let's outnumber them. Let's make it difficult for them to even rig. And come out in your numbers.
Yes, and I think Nigerians should not also be trying to come out in their numbers. They should also be trying to be the ones governing their communities.
There you go.
Don't look for people to come and govern you. Why can't you govern yourselves in your communities? The simple reason is because we don't want to organize. Only rich people in our communities organize. Landlord association. Only them. We, the so-called tenants, we living, working. We don't have our own organization. We don't meet. We don't discuss anything. But everywhere in this country, if it's not landlord association, it is a boat owners club. It is one kind club. They are always organizing, always together, always planning. So and that is why they have been able to oppress us so much. And we are looking for Messiah. We are looking for saviors. No, we must organize to take over our communities from these people. Take over our resources from these people, running them, being able to distribute them in a more justified way, in a more equitable way where all members of society are able to benefit from the great things that Nigeria has to offer. It's just a shame that all the great things this country has to offer is only used for individual development, not national development. Nigerian resources must be used for Nigerian development, not some families' development. Yeah.
110%. Okay, it's 11:56. We're going to take a few more calls and then wrap up for the day. Lagos Talks. Lagos Talks. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning.
All right, let's hear you quickly, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. We can't hear you well, though.
I like the last statement you made as regards that what do you do in your community? I keep saying the solution to the problem is not in the Electoral. It's right from the community where all of us live together, where we cannot control issues here. When you see somebody doing what is wrong that is affecting the community, everybody keep quiet and look the other way. They also find their way to the part of it, take their own chance and they work with it. Go to the border towns and see what they were using by to do in smuggling fuels across the leaders of the Nigeria Republic, not just the Republic to Benin Republic. You know how much they sell a liter there. Everybody takes their own chunk. They don't care what's happening. They look at the issue of rent. So you want to rent a house. And because the last time, you take 10% commission. Go and meet all these agents. They will charge almost 90% of your actual rent for the property for the agreement and commission. All those things have to simple in paper. We all just think like we're in the jungle, the survival of the system. The correct answer is what you are affected. Let's just go back to community. It's not just about picking your PVC. Who are you voting for? Who are you voting for? Look at what this guy from Liberty is doing with Belema oil. The guy is from that business, and he has taken over that oil and taken over the community. They are all responsible for it right now. You cannot hear of any pipeline explosion or vandalism in that region, in that community, because it's from here. All of them are together running it right now. So that I think that is the way we all need to. Let us all take responsibility that all of us have failed. Every one of us have failed. Look at Labour, Nigerian Labour Congress coming out. When they wanted to sell the refineries to Dangote and Guinea Petrol, they all came out. People are just collecting salaries, going on selling and producing nothing. They can't just say, okay, we are not collecting salaries. They are collecting salaries for jobs they don't do. It's sad. 1999, they gave them license to build refineries. Majority of them were using it for first subsidy scam. They never bought a plot of land. Government was trying to build the land to start refineries.
Thank you for your take. Sam is saying good morning. All issues around subsidy or no subsidy or any around petroleum in Nigeria is not limited to one party problem. The present government is not the only problem except our usual biases. Our problem is lack of sincere leadership and lack of trust. Finish.
Across the divide.
And this is coming from a listener saying, God bless you. Only a deceiver would say Nigeria has not failed truly till we realize and face the fact that we were never one, but created as one by the colonials for their selfish interests, not by the people, in which the evil followers in face of politicians have taken advantage. This is coming from Chijioke saying this government should differentiate fuel price increase from fuel subsidy. Each time they want to increase fuel price, they tell us they're removing subsidies. How do you remove subsidies from products that you don't know the price? This is coming from OJ saying, please let them remove the subsidy today. No need for them testing the waters. And he's saying, please, where is Ibuka? All right, guys, thank you very much.
Good question. Where is Ibuka?
It's 12. We need to wrap this up right here, right now. Thanks to our sponsors, Adam and Eve, Africa's #1 luxury homeware store. We're going to be hearing from them as we wrap up the show for today. Thank you so much, and Seun, always